Hey everybody, it's Joy Packard. It is a Wednesday, almost afternoon, 12:13 p.m. here in Houston. And I'm just taking a break. I'm always taking breaks from what I'm doing, and I think about you guys, and I think about ways that help me, that can help you. And so whenever that happens, I always love to come on and share with you my thoughts. What I'm so excited about is my podcast is releasing. It is called Joy Reveals. I shared my icon on my previous posts. I hope you look for it on iTunes. Over the next few weeks, I will let you know the release date. And one of the reasons I'm super excited about that is I know there's a lot of people who can't get on video or who don't get on Facebook or who are not on Facebook Live or whatever. And so I love being able to share with you a lot of the things that I learned. And you know, being a mom of 8, traveling as much as I do, and some of the experiences that happen, I'm just so super excited about it, because then I can share with you the thoughts that, you know, I have through my podcast. And so that's very exciting. It's going to be, you know, a lot of people that look at that icon, they say, Joy Reveals, you know, what are you going to reveal? And that's exactly, I'm so happy to hear that, because that's exactly what I wanted the icon to do, is to spur interest. And you know, some of the things that I'm going to be talking about are mind hacks, health hacks, Amazon, you know, on my journey over the last 4 years. We're going to talk about just becoming ways that we can become the best versions of ourselves, right? Because when we do that, we're striving on a day-to-day basis just to be better. And as we all know, none of us are perfect, right? And we've been talking about that, this series of videos that we've been talking about. You know, one of the things I was cleaning out today, and that's the other thing too, is cleaning out toxicity in your life, whether it's people, whether it is material things, whether it's your office, whatever it is, you know, it's just cleaning out. And so one of the things that I found as I was cleaning out was one of my journals that I was looking for, and here it is. And basically, if you can read it backwards, it basically says to start today. And I've been looking for this journal. I've been looking for it because I have many things, you know, that I want to accomplish, and what I do for each of the different businesses or, you know, projects that I have is I start a new journal on it, right? And I think about this because this particular reminder is a great one for not just me, but for all of us, right? I love being able to know that at any time and any point in our life that we can start today. I'll let you see that one more time. Starting today. You know, one of the things that I love is being reminded of that, is that we can start today, no matter where we are in our life, no matter what we're going through in our life. And all of us, every single one of us, are going through something, right? And so great little reminders, whether it's a journal, whether it's a quote, whether it is something on your wall, whether it's a screensaver, whether it's a symbol, you know, maybe it's a piece of jewelry that you wear, whatever it is, to remind you that you can start today, no matter where you are. And that applies to your business. That applies to broken relationships. It applies to whatever it is that you're going through that might be hard or difficult at this time. You know, I see so many posts right now. I saw one yesterday about, you know, what do you do when times are difficult, right? And I thought about that question, and I think about it for you as well. You know, what do you turn to? What do you do? And for me, when times are difficult, I turn to God and I turn to prayer more than I ever do. And that's always what's gotten me out of, you know, whatever rut that I'm ever in. And all of us get into ruts, right? We all have things in our life that are toxic. We all have things that we could do without. And so I love this reminder, and I wanted to share this reminder with you and encourage you to put your own reminders out there, whether it's, like I say, a journal or whatever it is, to help remind you that it's okay if yesterday was a bad day. And it's okay if the last few weeks or months or years have been not very good weeks or days or months or years. And know that at any time when we decide to make that decision, that we can start today, like this reminder that I found. It's so encouraging and it's hopeful. It gives you hope. That's awesome, Kit. And so I think that we as we put out daily reminders everywhere we go to remind us of what we're striving for, whether it's like I say, a broken relationship, or maybe we're not doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. My dad used to call them the basics. He used to tell me when he was here, whenever things are not going quite right in your life, look back and see if you're doing the basics. And he meant by that, prayer and reading and scriptures and just living your life right, because whenever you are not doing the things that you should be doing, then a lot of things fall out of place. And a lot of things start becoming cloudy and start becoming where you are just not able to focus, right? So you have to pinpoint the problem, and you have to decide, or you have to dig and search and say, what is different? What am I doing in my life that's creating this, or that's making these kind of things happen? And then once you drill down and figure out exactly what it is, you can try and fix it, right? Through whatever methods that you believe that you can do. And so I do a lot of writing. I'm so excited, like I say, to find this journal. One of my goals in my life is to actually write a book, because I've had so many experiences and so many different areas of my life that I think that it could help people. And that's why I'm so excited about my upcoming podcast, because I will be able to share the ideas with you that I've been wanting to share with you. Like I say, for those of you who can't get on Facebook Live, you'll be able to start listening to it. For those of you who are wondering what the name of the podcast is, it's in one of my posts. It's called Joy Reveals. And so, I don't know, that's been a goal of mine. And that's been a goal of mine since the beginning of the year. And so, anyway, I know that a lot of us have a lot of things that are going on. We all have broken hearts. We all have discouragements. We all have setbacks, failures in our business, in our relationships, in our friendships, in our everyday life. And we have to realize that it's just for a present moment, and that eventually it will pass. And a long time ago, I had a poem that I was writing, and it was named "This Too Shall Pass." And I refer to it often. Hey, Darius. I refer to it often whenever, times are a little bit off for me, and realize that, when we have a bad day, when we have times that are rough, when we have times that are not going the way that we want them to, that it will pass. And I know that the timing of going through it is so hard. It's hard at times to go through that road. But we know that sooner or later, just like when we, I guess what's a good analogy for you? Basically, when we start something, then eventually, as painful as it is, it will eventually end. That kind of reminds me, as I'm talking to you about this time on this very day, within 2 or 3 days, about 5 or 6 years ago, I ran my first half marathon. And I was looking at the memories on Facebook, and I was looking at my pictures, and I was remembering the pain that was when I was running. I remember when I was on mile 11, 2 miles before I was done, my quadriceps started giving out. And I remember I was running it, with my sister, and I was telling her, I don't really know how I can finish this race. And, I remember her encouraging me, and, she said, remember what you worked for. Remember that you can do this. And I know it's painful right now, but know that when you get to the finish line, you will be so happy and so excited that you finished this race. And I remember her words, and I remember her words whenever I was running my marathon, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember again being on mile 21, 2 miles within finishing, or mile 23 rather, for a marathon. And I remember feeling so almost defeated, that I didn't know if I could finish it. And I could hear my sister screaming my name and screaming, these words, you can do this. You can. You've done this before. And you know that it's painful, but you can push through. And I think about that, like I say, because this very day, within a few days, I was running my first half marathon, and I remember how painful it was. And I relate a lot of my running to my everyday experiences, because we're all running a marathon, and we all have times where it's hard and we want to quit. And we all have times where it's painful, and we want to quit. We want to say, it's too hard. My quadriceps are giving out. I cannot keep on going. Only to realize that the finish line is just around the corner. And so I wanted to share these thoughts with you. They've been on my heart this morning. As I'm looking at my half marathon pictures, as I'm, excited to launch this podcast that's coming up, because it's been a goal of mine. And so when you start seeing things come into fruition, and you start realizing that I started, and then, you go through this painful time, and then you finish, and you see and you reap the rewards. It's very, very exciting. And so I wanted to encourage you, those who are in pain, and those who are having such a hard time in whatever area of your life, like I say, whether it's your business or your relationships or your everyday stuff that's going on. At times it feels so heavy, and I know that from personal experiences, and I know that every single day is a new day. And so those who are coming on later, I was sharing my journal that I found that says start today. And no matter what you're doing in your life that you think that you can't, just know that you can start today. And it will help you through all of the times that you're having such a hard time. So anyway, I hope those of you who are doing Amazon are having an amazing Q4. And I'm going as fast as I am able, but not as fast as I normally do, but that's okay. All right, so I wanted to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, whether a subscribe button is up here or down low, and turn on notifications, because we are going to be announcing our podcast release date, and you can stay tuned here to know when that would happen. And so as you subscribe to these live feeds, then you can keep track and know when we come on, and so that you can know when you can look for it on iTunes. And so I encourage you to subscribe. I encourage you to post in the comments topics that you would love to talk about, comments on how you feel about anything that we're talking about. I always love to hear other people's thoughts. And I hope that you guys are, whatever it is that you're going through, that again, you can remember that no matter what it is, and how in despair, or how you may not have any hopes that things can turn out, just know that you can start today. All right. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and as well as it could be in whatever you're doing. And I hope that you are putting out your daily reminders in whatever way that you do it, to remind you that you're amazing, and to remind you that, if today is hard, then there's always tomorrow, and there's always another moment that you can get through painful parts. And so I wanted to share those thoughts with you, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.